If you were to ask me a few weeks ago what being productive looked like, it would have resembled this. A calendar packed with things, using my time wisely, using all of my time, always being prepared to work, working to my maximum limits, getting all the things done, and building a mother-forking empire. You know, the casual things. But as I've come to learn in this season, I've spent time healing. I've invited other online mentors into my space, looked at other ways that things could be done, learned about energy, began to understand what it truly looks like to love myself and believe I was worthy of having it all. And it changed things. Well, it changed everything. Productivity for productivity's sake doesn't exist the same for me anymore. And as I've learned to embrace my feminine energy a bit more, I felt myself relax. I felt ease. I felt the weight fall away in the stillness of the universe as it's chosen to align with me. Sounds pretty great, right? So this week, I thought I would take you along with me for a few days as I learned to balance the two spaces, embracing my feminine energy and utilizing my masculine energy to get things done. It's very much a work in progress, but hey, aren't we all? Now, I was once that girl with a strict morning routine. That girl, if you will, before she became an internet woman. I was up at 5, on my way to the gym, working out with a smoothie for breakfast, and then journaling before I started my day. I followed the routines and guidelines set before me by all the successful humans I could learn from, until I couldn't anymore. Until I realized that what supports me versus them was totally different. Ended up adding a little bit of bacon to breakfast. I really like these meals for like lunchtime and dinner time. We don't get a ton of them, enough that like kind of supplements and not it helps us not do as much DoorDash and ordering. It just means that I'm getting a more balanced diet. But there've been a few of these where the label doesn't read the same. So like it says that it should have sausage and it doesn't, so I added a little bit of bacon, and it's kind of one of those things where like if you are tracking macros or you are trying to track anything, the outside doesn't end up being actually correct. Like it's correct for what it would be if that was what was in there. And I am currently trying to hit a protein goal, which is new for me, but just having to be mindful about that. So this was also, some was a little bit messy. Like there was actually no syrup left in the little container when I got it. So hopefully this will kind of work, but we're doing this with a matcha and some collagen to start the day, because I find that having protein in my meals is great for like brain health in general, but just kind of keeping me more balanced throughout the day. So I also try to be mindful about if I'm going to eat breakfast before I work out, what I eat, so that it feels like it's gonna process, especially if I think that I'm going to run. But today we are lifting weights, and then I'm probably gonna throw in a run at the end, but hopefully for now we can kind of enjoy this, and I'm gonna do some computer work in bed and be a little cozy with that, because I'm feeling extra sleepy this morning. I have a feeling that we need to shoot some photos, and I think that mom is probably gonna be a little bit lagging on that, so I'm not gonna put myself in that like I don't know what to do while I kill time. I'm gonna, you know, take some time to do some other things, maybe prep a video that I want to film next week. So on days like today, where I decide to skip the usual routine, the 5 a.m. part being non-negotiable because I can't quite turn off my alarm clock / dog, but where I wake up and decide to flow, it's a different experience. Alright, so it is officially 9:51 a.m. and I haven't quite done what I thought I would do this morning, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I thought that I would be filming this vlog as my video for this weekend, but I think I'm going to do a shoe video instead, which is good and exciting, and I have a lot of content that I want to film, but I also really wanted to listen to the Taylor Swift album this morning, because some of the content that I'm going to make comes from that. So this morning ended up being a little bit random, and what I find happens for me is that I've learned to kind of get myself back together when I create space that allows myself to be all over the place. So something I realized this week is that I haven't really found or recognized that I needed to find a balance between my feminine and masculine energy, meaning the masculine side being the space where I plan everything, where I'm really intentional about everything, where things are really kind of to the T and putting things out so that I'm making sure that I'm getting them done, and like recognizing how long things take, and just really that like more, I guess in some sense, kind of like a type A side, not necessarily controlling, because I'm not always the most controlling. I'm definitely like a cool, like if I don't need to have energy around this, I'll let it go. But on the more feminine side, I really want to create space for my flow, but also really to create space where I feel like, I'll back you up a little bit, create space where I feel like I can receive, because I think that's something that I haven't given myself a lot of, is not necessarily not resting, but intentionally resting with the like idea that like I just get to energetically receive in this time, that it's me intentionally letting go and trusting in the process and just inviting the universe to bless me, which I know sounds a little bit more woo-woo. But so that being said, this morning was a little bit not what I expected, and that's fine. I've got to be really honest with myself at this point and say I really am just not in a headspace where if I don't have to work out first thing, I don't necessarily want to. And it's the time of the year where I can kind of be a little bit more, I don't want to think fragile with that, but a little bit more flexible with that. So I did think that Mom was going to get up a little bit later. She still got up early enough that we probably could have shot, but I'm going to shoot tomorrow. So now to kind of honor the flow that I had and to get back on track, I like to make a little to-do list. And if I'm feeling like I just have no sense of time, I will put it in my calendar, and I might do that, but I will do a couple things. If I'm kind of creating a list, sometimes I'll go in and do the like to-do table. Grace talks about it in her video, I'll link it down below, to give me a better sense of time. So to give me a sense of what my quick ticks are, what my tasks are, and what my projects are. I had something that probably could have, it bordered the line between a quick tick and a task this morning, and it's really probably what took me off track was I had to spend a bit of time on customer service with Stacks about an order. But now I'm at a point where I need to figure out the most efficient way to get the rest of my data. I'm going to spend literally like 3 to 5 minutes right now creating my little list of what I still want to do today, or what I feel like I should do, keeping in mind the kind of content that I want to create, also knowing that I'm going to be out for several hours tomorrow night, and I'm also traveling next weekend. That's also the other part of this, is that I'm trying to create with the intention of knowing how I'm going to be spending my time for the next 8 to 9 days. And I made a little list. I do want to batch a couple of things, I think, for TikTok, some green screen videos, some stuff that it's just kind of easy to do, and that way I buy myself a little bit of time if there's a day where maybe I need to spend a little bit of time editing or doing something else, because sometimes I don't create all the same content on all of the platforms. But I feel like that helps me kind of realign with stuff, and I can look at my calendar at the end of the day and see maybe what I planned to do today, what I didn't get done. And I like to leave things on my calendar in that way. Sometimes if I feel like I'm really not getting a sense of how long something's taking, I'll put everything in my calendar, and then when I start the task, I'll look at the clock. And then when I finish the task, I'll go back in and like adjust it. And I'll almost kind of use my calendar as like, in production, like in movies, you get a call sheet at the beginning of the day, and it tells you everything that you're going to do for the day. And then at the end of the day, they fill out a production report, and that essentially is the report of what actually got done, what you ended up shooting, how many people worked, all of the meal times, like if you went over, just anything and everything that happened, any incidents, anything that needs to be reported there. So I like to treat my calendar that way sometimes, as a way to give me that full scope, so I can continue to move at a fairly like quick speed, but I can also be really mindful if it's not necessarily like a task on a to-do list where I keep repeating it, because sometimes you do it so often you don't think about it. But if I do it with my calendar, if I like leave it in there, I can kind of go back at the end of the month or at the end of the week and be like, okay, am I budgeting enough time for whatever project? Is there something that I keep putting on here that I'm not doing? And is that a task that I either need to prioritize and make time for, or is that a task that maybe I need to find somebody on Fiverr and hire out and get help with? So those are just things that for me help me feel the most supported and productive, because it's important to me to create space to recover and to feel like I am actually getting to live my life. And like, yes, I'm working hard, but as I'm embracing manifesting more and understanding energy more and really kind of aligning myself that way, I also really want to allow myself to be supported. That's something I want to implement now, and even more so as I grow. But I feel like we're ready to kind of realign there. I do think I might have an energy drink moment. I'm going to take like 20 minutes to kind of reset. I feel like I've been a little all over this morning. And then I will listen to the Taylor Swift album again and do a workout and then do the Taylor Swift run. It's a T-Swift kind of day.
For me, living in my feminine energy is about embracing the art of slowness. It's about the intentions I set around relaxation. It's about setting goals with gentleness, knowing that I can draw them to me with ease rather than force. And sure, I love a data point as much as the next overachiever, but when I'm finding space for both my feminine and masculine energy, I'm also leaning into the idea that I am enough. I am worthy. The work I do matters, and most importantly, I can trust the universe to have my back. I create the space to receive the blessings. I relax because I believe I'm abundant. I believe I get to have the things because I do. I'll show up, do the work, and continue to elevate. But rather than live in the hustle mentality, I don't add more to my plate for the sake of adding more. My rest, my time, my energy, my knowing that I'm worthy of all the things that I want is equally, if not more important, than my ability to do the work. I get to work hard, but I also get to rest easy. And as someone who spent much of her life believing she isn't enough, learning to rest easy and knowing it gets to work better because I do has been a game changer.
Done. I definitely feel that in my upper body, and I walked on the treadmill for a minute. I'm setting a goal to tweak my workout routine this week. Not because I don't necessarily enjoy it, but I feel like I'm not getting the consistency that I want, and I probably won't see the results that I want if I don't make some tweaks. So stay tuned for that, because I have a fairly good idea of how I want to do it and how I want to gently do it, but I need to put makeup on and do all the things. This is partially why I want to change my workout routine, because it's 4:40 or 3:40. I haven't put hair and makeup on today. Haven't done any of that, and I kind of need to so I can film. I probably should open this the other way in case I need to return it, but I am considered an Amazon influencer, so I've been getting gifted amounts every month to buy some things, to test them, to share with you guys. And I ordered this dress originally. This is gonna kind of looks a little bit small. I ordered this dress originally in white, and I ordered it in a large. And something that I learned from working on set and being styled by costumers is sometimes you just need to go a little bit tighter. Sometimes the fit needs to be a little bit better. So because this is so stretchy, I went down a size, and I also changed it to the red, because the way that it was like sitting, there was a line in it, and I couldn't tell if it was dirty. I couldn't tell if it was like a weird vibe. So we're gonna get dressed. I think this is gonna be our outfit for Reels today, probably paired with my platform shoes, because I just really love them, and I want to make sure that I get all of the ways to style them, but I'm excited about this. It's also a lot more vibrant in camera, and it gives me Hannah Marin, like season 6, 7, I don't know, one of the seasons after they like aged everybody up on Pretty Little Liars. She has this gorgeous red dress on with her Louboutins, and I've always kind of wanted that outfit, so this is kind of my homage to that. I might pair them with my white Louboutins, I might pair them with the white platforms. We shall see. I just want to note that I just realized that I had lines on my face. I realized it when I put the dress on, because I put the dress on camera and I didn't take the tag off, and I got like the sweater line straight down my forehead, but I just looked at my nose and I still had them there. Like, they did the scraping real strong on this one.
But at the end of the day, you reach a point where you can't go anymore, where you have to rest. And those things that you didn't do, they'll still be there tomorrow. The to-do list will fill back up, the laundry will be a thing again, the dishes will pile up in the sink, the work will still need to be done, and there will still be more than one way to do it. The way that has you feeling so joyous and abundant at the end of the week because you got to be productive and your cup feels full. Or the one where it feels like you spent all your time resisting, drowning, keeping your head barely above water because it feels like it's never enough. When it is, it can be. But you have to stop believing the lies as the ultimate truth. You have to stop making things hard for the sake of being worthy of them. You have to choose to let yourself truly believe that you're worthy of the thing you're trying to receive. You, my beautiful friend, are powerful. You are uniquely made with a purpose that the universe wants to help you succeed at. I hope you'll remember as you push yourself this week. You deserve the kindness and compassion you give to the most fragile of creatures, because inside you lives one that is crying out for that same love. I love you. It is a good day to have a good day, and I hope you all have a beautiful week.